Hello, everybody. I'm very excited to be introducing Joze Piranian as our very first keynote speaker of this conference. I had the opportunity to hear Joze speak last year in Montreal at the ISA World Congress, and his talk greatly impacted my own relationship with my stutter. I followed Joze on Instagram after his talk last year, and I've witnessed firsthand not only the multitude of events that he's spoken at this year, but also his unwavering positivity and his excitement in engaging with others. As someone who is currently thinking critically about my own relationship with my stutter, Joze exemplifies the potential of what people who stutter can accomplish. Joze is proof that stuttering and the fear that precedes it is not a barrier in any endeavor, even public speaking. Joze has transformed the burdens that many of us associate with stuttering into a wildly successful speaking career. Joze is a 5-time TEDx presenter. He regularly presents to audiences at Fortune 500 companies, and in 2017, Joze won the Inspirational Personality of the Year award after competing in the Grand Slam of Inspirational Speaking and winning. He has also been featured in Forbes, ABC, Fox, and Now This, where he was interviewed about the perception of Joe Biden's stutter during the election. Joze has performed stand-up comedy on 3 different continents, and he is able to claim that he stutters in 6 different languages. This morning, Joze will share his story of self-acceptance and personal growth and provide us all with insights about confronting speaking challenges and confronting our relationship with fear. I believe that we can all take away valuable insights from Joze's talk today that will continue to propel each of us on our own journeys of acceptance and self-confidence. Please join me in welcoming Joze Piranian to our stage.
Thank you, Caden. Thank you, Caden, for the warm introduction. It is true, I do stutter in 6 different languages because my mission in life is to test people's patience internationally. It is great to be here with everyone in person. I do think it is amazing that almost everyone in this room has a stutter. I have an idea. I think we should all become lawyers and start the NSA law firm. Can you imagine how much we would make charging by the hour? It is great, though, to be in person. The past 2 or 3 years have been a bit strange. Who here agrees with that? Yeah. Everyone kept on telling everyone else to stay positive, which is easier said than done. But then again, for us, for us, nothing is easier said than done. By a show of hands, who here feels like they behave differently when they interact with other stutterers compared to how they interact with people who don't have a stutter. I still remember the first time I attended an event for stutterers in my late teenage years. I felt immediately relaxed. I felt like for the first time in my life, I could express myself freely. Who here relates? Yeah. The next day, however, when I went back home, the extreme social anxiety and shyness instantly came back. It is as though when we are interacting among each other, because having a stutter is the norm, it became a non-issue. And when it's a non-issue, our personalities can flow freely. I recall, however, that as soon as I was outside of these rooms, the social anxiety was unbearable for me. I'm certain that many of you will relate when I say that I avoided speaking every time that I could. I felt shame, embarrassment, and anger about being different. Why engage the world? I often ask myself, when I could simply hide in the isolating yet comforting cocoon of my own silence. When I was 13 years old, I went to Austria on a family vacation. Who here has been? Isn't it gorgeous? Yeah. We were in Vienna for 3 days. Day 1, I see this girl with red hair, and my 13-year-old self thinks she looks adorable. A few seconds later, she gets in a cab with her mother, and they leave. Day 2, I'm at the Museum of Music, and there she was, cute and cultured. My teenage self had excellent taste. I think about saying hello to her because 2 consecutive days in a big city is an astounding coincidence. But as I am drowning in my own head, she once again vanishes. Day 3, it's the last day in Vienna, folks. I'm having lunch on a patio with my parents, my sister, and this couple. that we had met at the hotel. My father proceeds to tell them all about the girl with the red hair. And as with any teenager being teased about his crush does, I look away embarrassed. And with incomprehensible, statistical absurdity, I see her. Everyone at the table starts cheering for me. 3 days in a row, they say. You have to speak to her. Alas, the third time wasn't a charm. I just sat there, frozen with anxiety and paralyzed by one single thought. What would she even say when she hears me stutter? If you've had your own Vienna moments, please put your hand up. Even the phone. This fear of judgment for being different is one that had dominated most of my life until my early 20s. Stuttering was an issue. It was the issue that held me back from interacting with the world. So the most relevant question is, how can we make stuttering a non-issue so that we interact with people who don't stutter the same way that we do with people who do stutter? If this feels like a question worth exploring, please put your hand up. Okay, thank God. I'd like to share 7 steps that have facilitated this journey for me. The first one is, of course, acceptance. And I don't just mean acceptance when we are among each other. I mean acceptance day in and day out. There's this awesome Chinese proverb that says, tension is who you think you should be. Relaxation is who you are. When I look back at my own journey, what has really facilitated the acceptance is to simply mention the fact that I have a stutter as soon as I meet someone new, regardless of how obvious it is. There's something I have found about verbally taking ownership of it that has gradually changed my relationship with having a stutter. And often, depending on the context, it can be done with a sense of humor. If I'm at a party, for example, and I see a group that I'd like to talk to. I go up to them. I say, hey, you guys seem like an interesting group. I'm Joze. And by the way, I do have a stutter. I did not just have 19 shots of tequila. There is something really powerful about acknowledging it right away with a bit of humor, if it's appropriate, so that we can then move on onto other things. So the first step is acceptance. And of course, coming to a conference like this one here today is an incredibly powerful way to hone that sense of self-acceptance. Two is what I call the golden rule of stuttering. Does anyone here know the other golden rule? Yeah? Yes?
That was a small hand. Treat others like you want to be treated.
Yes, so it's treat others the way you want to be treated. And to that I add, treat your stutter the way you want others to treat it. If I meet someone and I say, hi, my name is Joze, and I suffer from a neurogenetic condition called stuttering, you can feel the mood in the room shifting in a not so lighthearted way. If however, I meet someone new and I say, hey, my name is Joze, I have a stutter, so some of my words take their sweet time to come out, then all of a sudden, I have treated my own stutter in a way that is lighthearted, and that will inspire how they perceive it and how they treat it. It's not to say that having a stutter is not serious. It's serious, and I'm sure that we've all gone through, at times, absolutely hellish moments because of it. What this is about is making the decision to approach the topic in a lighthearted manner so that others also think, okay, this is a non-issue. It's something that they've acknowledged, and now let's move on. 3 is to test our self-limiting beliefs. I have held every self-limiting belief possible about what it means to have a stutter in terms of the life I would have, in terms of my social life and my romantic life, professionally and beyond. Even though it is truly effective to start revisiting these beliefs by talking to other people at a conference like this one, I have found that one of the most effective ways to do so is by exposing ourselves to social situations repeatedly. It's how we can test these beliefs by oftentimes uncovering evidence in the real world that contradicts some harmful and self-limiting beliefs that we might have been holding. One of the exercises I had learned on a speech therapy program was to go to the mall or outside and talk to 100 complete strangers to desensitize myself. And I do have a surprise for you today. I have a short clip of me doing this exercise. It was captured by the filmmaker who is making a movie about my story. And I got her approval to share this short clip with the NSA. Now, if you'd like to watch it, please make some noise. All right, let's watch it.
Excuse me, guys. Hi. I have a stutter, and today I'm just challenging myself by having super quick conversations with as many people as possible as an exercise to work on my stuttering and improve my speech. I know I interrupted something that
You can pull a goddess card.
seemed very divine. Huh?
You can pull a goddess card. And then you have to pull a goddess card that I remember you from Speaker Slam.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I saw you. I was like, I know that guy from Speaker Slam. I did Speaker Slam. You did it before. He won. What's
Yeah.
your name again?
I'm Joze Piranian. It's really an absurd coincidence.
Yeah, it's obviously magical.
Yeah, I could tell as soon as I
The energy here is really good. These babes are super nice.
I could tell right away as soon as I walked in that this isn't the average group of people. It's like hashtag Nirvana over here.
After we have accepted, treated our stutter the way we want others to treat it, tested our beliefs by exposing ourselves to social situations as opposed to holding back, then it's important to show genuine interest in other people, because everyone has their own obstacles. Everyone has their own version of a stutter. I remember this one time I was talking to a friend of mine. I was a teenager, and she told me that she was dealing with social anxiety. And I recall feeling shocked. I was like, wait, I don't have a monopoly over this? And sometimes I find that because having a stutter can at times be intense in terms of the avoidance and the subsequent social anxiety. I know for me it was. It's easy to forget that everyone has their own journey with obstacles, hopes, and dreams, and fears. And after we have done these initial steps, it's key to show a genuine interest in who they are as individuals. It's not all about the stutter. Then the fifth one is eye contact and pausing. In terms of eye contact, I know that as people who stutter, it is tempting to look away when we have a hard time. I know I did that most of my life. When this also goes back to the golden rule and how if we are looking away, we are also sending the signal that something very wrong is happening right now, as opposed to just continuing the conversation casually. In terms of pausing, who here has seen the TV show Narcos? Okay, so if you think about almost every movie with mafia leaders or with drug lords, this will make sense. You'll often find that they speak slowly, and everyone else that is lower in the hierarchy of the organization will speak way quicker. And that's because the person at the top of that hierarchy is not concerned about making people wait. In fact, they feel very relaxed, and they know that they are in control. Now, I'm not telling you to become drug lords. Don't do that. I am, however, telling you that it's okay to sound like one. The sixth step is to be proactive socially. We have to, especially if we have to counteract years and years of avoidance, we have to proactively engineer social situations in our daily lives. If I get a text about the party that a friend of a friend of a friend has organized, okay, let's go. If a relative's in town and they say we should go for brunch, why not? Although in all fairness, I do have an addiction to avocado, so I don't need much convincing to show up to brunch. and it's key to also mention that not all of these social interactions will go well. The more we challenge our fears and do things outside of our comfort zones, the more social outcomes we will experience. Some of those will be positive, and some might not be that positive. Regardless of the reactions we get, the best way out is always through. The seventh step is, and it's the last step, and it's about mental wellness. As we take uncomfortable action and do things we find scary, we might end up feeling exhausted or burnt out or even discouraged if things don't go the way we wanted them to. Right? If you go out to a group and we get stuck and someone laughs, that's a real reaction that can happen. And I have found that it's been key for me to cultivate mental wellness at the same time. And 3 things I do every day are who here meditates, by the way? Yeah. I find that among people who stutter, that percentage can be a bit higher than in the outside world. If you don't meditate yet, I would say start small, 1 minute every day for 7 days. And then you simply increase that to 2 minutes for a week, and then 3, and then 5, and then 10. And then the whole day. No. You can stop at 5, 10, 15, whatever works for you. And then 2 is just, I start my day by listing 3 things I am grateful for. I actually, this morning I wrote, I'm grateful to be in Fort Lauderdale. I'm grateful to be at the NSA conference. And I'm grateful for the amazing weather. I'm from the Middle East, so to me, this is amazing weather. Thank you. And then the third one is movement, whether that is the gym or a walk, doing yoga, whatever. And these are 3 mental wellness practices that have been crucial, especially as I'm about to do some high pressure speaking, whether it's at a comedy club or other types of settings. It is quite surreal to be here today, because growing up, I would never have imagined that life could unfold the way that it has. I believed that I would always hold back due to having a stutter. Before I conclude, there is a movie, as I mentioned, being made about my journey, and I'd love to share the trailer with you. If you'd like to watch it, please say action.
Excuse me, guys. Hi. Do you know? 50, 40, 30, Excuse me, guys. Hi.
The fact that I avoided speaking altogether for over 2 decades definitely has served as a motivation to live the rest of my life the other extreme.
I am on a speech therapy or improvement program. We're actually doing an exercise for our stuttering. Today I have to introduce myself to as many people as possible as an exercise.
What made you decide to jump into Speaker Slam tonight?
It's probably because I'm crazy.
He's been killing it. Please help me welcome Joze Piranian.
It is true, I do have a stutter, so I hope you like suspense.
Tell me, like, how did all this happen? Because I'm seeing all of this craziness,
This
man.
past 1.5 years, I've had my highest highs ever.
The emotionality is definitely, the emotions are definitely intense. Is emotionality even a word?
I'm not sure, but we'll take it.
Last thing I need is to add non-existing words to stutter on.
At the same time, I've also experienced my lowest lows ever.
Am I the only one who has pizza with avocado?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like slices or?
Yeah, well,
I can see that.
not the whole thing, just in the middle, and you can go down.
I was thinking it would be easier if it was like
Unpeeled.
guacamole.
No, so I'll...
Oh, ew. That sounds gross even more.
Oh, but an avocado slice doesn't?
I'll have it usually...
I don't know, maybe it's just
Okay.
I'm not a fan of the garlic
like-
on pizza always, right?
That sounds amazing.
Warm avocado is kind of like a spread. It's like being
Stuttering remains a daily challenge for me.
Il ne s'est jamais ouvert à moi et il n'a jamais communiqué ses angoisses. C'était une surprise. Je ne l'ai pas dit, mais ça m'a beaucoup affectée.
When I realized how much he was affected, I wasn't happy to hear that he was that affected and he didn't talk about it. And I wish that he had talked about it earlier. I mean, if it's not my parents, at least with me. I hope that if now we have to go back in time and he knew what he knows today, he would have said something to us, to me, to anyone.
I can't help to think, if I maximize my reach and speak at schools, universities, conferences, company, and if at each one of these talks, even if one person in the room gets positively influenced and impacted, that changed their lives in one or many ways, to me that's just so rewarding, so motivating, and it will and it has driven me to persevere.
To conclude, there's this amazing quote by the Sufi poet Rumi. And it goes, why do you stay in prison when the door is so wide open? I stayed, and I'm sure many of us here have stayed in the self-imposed prison of silence for way too long. It's time to escape. Thank you.